Ladies and gentlemen, I said it once, I'ma say it again. The man is out to get you. You see, all the man cares about is money, and so the man goes to amazing lengths to trick you into spending money. But in this video, I want to expose these tricks that companies use to get you to spend money. But first, I just want to say something to those companies that are tricking innocent people into spending money. You better hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because El Augustine is about to expose you. Now let me say that again in case you didn't understand. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because El Augustine about to expose you. You don't have to come and confess for what you're doing, Mr. Man, because in this video, we're gonna go on a journey through 4 industries, and I'm gonna show you 15 different scams that companies use to trick you into spending money, and so you can run and tell that, homeboy. So let's start our journey at the restaurant industry. 1. Dropping the dollar sign. Now, this is something that restaurants commonly do nowadays, where if you look at menus like this one, you'll notice that there are no dollar signs, just even numbers like 13 or 9 or 16. And that's because when you're presented with prices without dollar signs versus with dollar signs, the price without a dollar sign seems more friendly. And because it's more friendly, you're more focused on the experience rather than the cost of the meal. And because of that, you're tricked into spending more money. Now, the second scam is adding an expensive item on the menu. Now, to continue on this subject of restaurants, if you look back at that menu, you'll notice that all the entrees are about the same price, between $15 and $19. However, there is this one item that is a lot more expensive, almost double the price of the other entrees. And many restaurants do this, put an expensive item on the menu because $17 for a burger is expensive. But when you compare it to a $28 steak, it doesn't seem that expensive anymore. And you're more likely to accept these high prices and spend more money because your comparison is a little bit distorted, and restaurants do this all the time. Now, the third scam is listing high prices on the top of menus. When I was in college, I worked at Panera Bread. Never eat there, ladies and gentlemen, it's all frozen food. But one strategy they would use to get their customers to spend more money was if you looked at their menu, they would place the highest price items at the top of the menu, and the prices would get cheaper as you reach the bottom. And this is because we always read from top to bottom. So when you're trying to decide what you want, you're more than likely to choose the items at the top of the menu because no one reads the entire menu. You're gonna make your decision long before you reach the bottom part of the menu, and you're gonna choose a higher priced item and spend more money. And this is something that's very common in self-service restaurants. Now, the fourth scam is tiny price differences between larger sizes. Now, I'm sure that you've had this experience before, where you decide you want to get some ice cream, and so you go to an ice cream parlor wanting a single scoop of chocolate ice cream. But then you look at the menu and see a single scoop is $4 and a double scoop is $5. And so you go for the double scoop because it's just $1 more and it's a great deal. But you're not getting a great deal. You're being tricked into spending $1 more. And this is something used across the board in restaurants, where the price between a small and a large is very small. It's just a way for companies to trick their customers into spending $1 or $2 more. And if you're not from the United States, that is basically why we have an obesity problem here. I'm not afraid to say it. Capitalism is making us all fat and miserable. That's us, the Americans, fat and miserable, but our country is rich, at least for 1%. The other 99%, who cares about them? Capitalism may be good for the economy, but it is terrible for everything else. You put profit over people for so long, it starts creating a lot of problems. But anyways, now let's talk about the grocery industry and talk about how they're scamming us. 5. Shrinkflation. I'm sure you remember, but a couple years ago, a bottle of Gatorade looked like this. It was 32 ounces and probably cost you around $2. More recently, a bottle of Gatorade looks like this. is 28 ounces and probably still costs around $2. And this is called shrinkflation, which is instead of raising prices, companies lower the size of their product. Instead of raising their prices, companies just lower the weight or the quantity of their product because customers are more likely to focus on price rather than the net weight of the product. And in my Gatorade example, you're being tricked into spending more money for less product, 4 ounces to be exact. But to be completely real, it is probably good for us to have smaller sizes anyways. Now the sixth scam is giant grocery carts. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I love it when I can find one of these small size grocery carts. However, it is so rare to find one of these grocery carts. Most of the time, you only see these giant-sized grocery carts. And there's a reason for this. It's because these giant-sized grocery carts can fit more things in them. And even when you have a lot of stuff, you don't notice because the cart is so big. In grocery stores, at least in America, because everything is big, use these giant grocery carts to trick us into buying more products and ultimately spending more money. Now, the seventh scam is the number 9 trick. Now, I am sure you know what the number 9 trick is. It's when companies use the number 9 to make you think that you're spending less money, like a box of cereal for $4.99 or a pack of sodas for $9.99. And it makes you think that these products are $1 less than they actually are, which tricks you into spending more money. Now, the 8th scam is random price numbers. Now, instead of me explaining how this next one works, I thought it would be appropriate if I got a real live Walmart shopper to explain how it works. So take it away, Steve. Thanks, El Augustine. Well, as much as I love Walmart, one way that Walmart tricks shoppers into spending more money is they use all these random numbers for their prices, like $2.48 for a can of beans, or $2.84 for a pack of wieners. And why are they using all these random numbers? Well, when you use random numbers, it makes you think you're getting the cheapest price, the best deal in town. And so you don't question it as much and just buy the product. Maybe even spend more money. But that's not going to stop me from shopping at Walmart. Walmart's the only place I fit in. But back to you, El Augustine. Thanks, Steve. Now let's talk about how the retail industry is scamming us. 9. Outlet malls. Now, outlet malls are famous for having brand name items at low discount prices, or at least that's what they say. However, outlet malls are designed to trick you into spending more money because more than likely they're located far away from a city in rural areas. So people have to travel distances to shop. And so in order to justify that distance, they treat it as an experience where they go all out and spend more money. You have to travel this far distance to get there, and so you immerse yourself in the shopping experience, ultimately spending more money. And I don't even know if you get better deals, which brings me to my 10th scam, decoy price tags. Another way outlet malls trick you into spending more money is they use these decoy price tags, where they might sell a shirt and say the original price was $100, but now it's discounted at $20. And so you get the shirt because that is a deal of a lifetime. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, ain't nobody paying $100 for no shirt. That is just a retail strategy to trick you into thinking that you're getting this great deal, ultimately making you spend more money. Now, the 11th scam is store credit cards. Every retail store in America has their own credit card where they have benefits and discounts for their members. Take the Target Red Card, for example, where you can save an extra 5% on all Target purchases. Ain't no wrong with that. Ain't that nice of them, ladies and gentlemen? No. It is a trick to get you to spend more money because when you get this card, you're more likely to shop at that store and spend more money at that store. Ain't no company looking out for you. Don't ever get a store card. They're just tricks into getting you to shop more at their store and spend more money at their store. So now let's move on to our final industry and talk about how the online retail industry is scamming us. 12. Fake online product reviews. Since becoming a highly successful YouTuber, loved by thousands of people from all around the world, I have learned many deep, dark secrets about the internet that I never knew before. Like, did you know that most online reviews are fake, especially on Amazon? For example, this air conditioning machine has 44,000 reviews. Now, how many times have you left a review? I have never left a review, only if I have an extremely bad experience. Sometimes you just gotta go Karen on their ass. But if you look down at these reviews, the crazy thing is that people are writing stories about this air conditioning machine, but all of these reviews are just fake. All these reviews are written by artificial intelligence, trying to convince you that this is an incredible product. They highly recommend it. And so you read all these reviews and you get convinced to buy the product. And this is so common, especially on Amazon, to get you to spend more money. Never trust reviews online, ladies and gentlemen, because most of them are just written by AI trying to convince you. Now, the 13th scam is one-click checkout. If you're a regular customer at Amazon, you've more than likely heard of something called one-click checkout, where instead of having to type in all your credit card information, you just click one button and you've made the purchase. And companies do this to make you forget that you're spending money, because when you're clicking just one button, it's not easy to realize that you're actually spending money. And when you don't realize that you're spending money, you end up spending more. Now, the 14th scam is buy now, pay later. Over time, borrowing money on credit just keeps changing names. First, we had IOUs with a local shop. Then there was layaway at Sears. Then credit cards. And now we have buy now, pay later, commonly known as Afterpay. And it's when you get the product now, but you pay it back later in small payments. And companies have this option because they know that their customers don't have the money to buy it outright. But if given the option to pay it back in payments over time, they'll do it because people are impatient and people don't want to wait until they have the money to buy the product, which is why people have so much credit card debt in this country. And Afterpay is just another example about how companies trick you into spending money you don't have because they know that most people are impatient. Now, the final scam is subscription services. If you haven't noticed, ownership is quickly becoming a thing of the past. No, in 2023, we subscribe to everything. We have streaming services, digital products, cloud storage, music services. Everything is subscription-based nowadays, and the reason is because it's a never-ending stream of revenue. For companies, you never reach ownership. You just keep spending money on all these subscription services, even though they're small, and you never stop spending money because you never reach ownership. And those are the 15 scams that trick you into spending money. And with that, muchas gracias. Que tengan un buen día. Video 150. For real this time. Nos vemos, chicos.